Hi, I'm Clinton Olive, and I'm a member of TSC, and I just wanted to share with you for a few minutes about a recent trip I had to East Asia, where I had a chance to go and minister and support two families from Thompson Station Church, the Robinsons and the Gongwers. They sold everything. God called them to go overseas to minister to an unreached people group, what we know as the ZZ people group. It looms large to see what it is that they have done and the sacrifice they have made. But it's also kind of funny because you look at those people and you say, well, I'll never be like those people. And then, one day, 2 years ago, you're walking out of public supermarkets on your way back to the house, and you get this text on the phone, you look down, it's Pastor Dwayne, and he said, hey, I've been thinking about you, and just praying, and God put you on my heart. And you just hate it when a preacher says, God put you on my heart, because you're like, what's he want? What do you think about going to East Asia? And I just looked down at that thing, and I think at that time I sent him a reply that was question mark, because that was not something at all that was on my radar. But the long story short is, at the end of the day, couldn't really come up with a reason why not to. Something that he said that still resonates today, and it's why I went back the second time this year, is just that, at the end of the day, you have people in your family of believers that sold everything to go minister to unreached people groups, to live out the life of the gospel, to share the gospel, and the least we can do is go support him.
As I walk the streets of our new home, I think about all the people that surround me and how different of a life I lead. My heart aches when I'm walking up the stairs to my apartment, and my eyes burn because of the incense smoldering at the doors. There aren't many days that go by that I'm not forced to remember the fact that I know about the one true God, who left heaven and came down to earth to rescue me, not condemn me. So how can I not tell the people in this country? How can I live my life having this treasure in a jar of clay and not share that with someone else, especially someone who doesn't know that the name Jesus is any different than Joe or Bob?
You spend time with somebody to get to know their heart. So getting to know Justin and Miranda, and then Ricky and Stacy, and even the kids, and you got to hear their story and how they were called and what it was that drew them, and how God worked in their life, and how they ultimately said, yes, and I'm going to leave everything that I know and go over there. And that kind of blows you away. So again, what's the least that I can do? Last year, first year teaching, we go under there, and the inroad, if you will, in this small market town that they were trying to get to was to teach school. And so we had the privilege of teaching English to these beautiful little Chinese students. And it's not easy, but it's incredibly rewarding.
Some days it's so overwhelming. And then there are other days when I get a text message from a local friend that says, do you know how I can get a Bible? The very thought of it brings me to tears. And in all of his loving kindness, he brings me one person at a time, one day at a time. He says, just follow me and I will show you. Just get up in the morning and say yes, and I will lead you.
The relationships that they're developing and cultivating, they are loved and they are well received over there. And the least we can do when they see that is to be encouraged and know that, we need to become a bigger part of what it is that they're doing.
The thing that keeps us going is the little glimpses that he gives us that shows us that he is active. He is doing something with our presence here that most days we can't even see. It is because we are weak that he is visibly strong.
When I think about that, I think about, what's our responsibility as brothers and sisters? What can we do? How can I convey? How can I share, what it is that they're doing, the impact that they're having for the kingdom? And we're not necessarily all called to do the same thing, but we're all called to be a part of the story. So what's your part of that story?